Let me tell you what I love about Cotton Cuts and the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. They make it so easy for you to finish a quilt.
My very first Cotton Cuts project was the So Sweet Puzzle Mystery Quilt, which was the spring 2021 version. I picked out the Benet because I loved all the bright colors, and it was the batik. So I loved the green, the red, the orange, the blue. I thought this quilt turned out so nicely. I haven't quilted this yet, but I do plan to do it soon because I was able to find a fun backing over at the Cotton Cuts website as well.
So I started with Olympia. That was my first one. And I got the colorway Dorothy, which was my mother's name. And my mom passed away 9 years ago. And so I made it for my dad, so that my dad would always have Dorothy wrapped around him.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So, and I loved it. I loved it that, you know, putting the pieces together because it was manageable. It was so easy to do. So then I started sharing it on my YouTube channel because I was like, well, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Good morning. It is Thursday. It is 9:30 a.m. Cotton Cuts time, and it is time for a live show. This week, I can tell you, is legitimately live. So good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness, I see so many people are here with us already. That is fantastic and amazing. I hope everyone had a great week. I did. I actually just got back from a week in Mexico celebrating a good friend's wedding. It was a lot of fun. Kids had a lot of fun. We made it back in time for Lincoln's graduation from 8th grade, and here we are. So this is my first day back in the shop, and I am sitting at this table, and I am just surrounded by all sorts of goodies, guys. So I am getting caught up, but that is fantastic because I get to show you all the things the team has been working on. Well, I have been out of the country, and guys, they have been busy. All right, so we're going to start the show like we do every week, and we're going to answer questions that have been submitted by you guys. So if you go to cottoncuts.com/live, you can submit a question. These literally, like, I have no idea what's on this paper. I got in late this morning and I am here. So let's read them together and let's figure out how we can help each other. All right, so the first question comes to us from Gayla from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much for your question, Gayla. What are some ways to speed up the quilting process without sacrificing quality? Okay. That's a great question. Speed up the quilting process without sacrificing quality. So I think I'm going to answer this in a couple of different kind of ways. So the easiest answer is to buy a Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt that's already pre-cut, and you just sit and sew, and you can actually get a fantastic quilt top in 10 months. All right. So that's the what Paula wants me to say answer. All right. Okay. So other ways to speed up the quilting process. So for me, I have to speed it up because I don't have much time. And so I think the question to ask yourself is, why do you want to speed up the process? Is it because you don't have much time? Is it because you want to be able to get a project done by a deadline? That is a fantastic reason to have to speed up a process. If you've got a birthday, graduation, something coming up, how do you speed it up? And so for me, my engineering mind always goes towards kind of doing all of the same process together. So doing all of the cutting at the same time, doing all of the piecing in a chain piecing method, doing all of the assembly, because you're typically faster if you're not having to multitask and not having to change gears as frequently. And so one of the ways that I have found to go quickly and efficiently is to do all of the same step, do it all completely before I go to the next step. There's also lots of people out there, guys, that are going to be like, you know, we don't need to speed up this process. This is an art, and art takes time. And that is fantastic. I feel like the first thing you have to do is just really ask yourself, why do you need to speed it up? I see a comment. So Terry is suggesting that you can speed it up by finger pressing. I think that's fantastic. I think a lot of time gets wasted between the machine and going to the iron and then pressing it and then bringing it back to your machine. If you can bring that iron to your station, that's also going to shorten it. Because think of all the times that you have to stand up, get out of your chair, go iron, and then bring it back. You also consume time when you're, waiting for that iron to warm up, for example. So that's why if you do all your ironing at once, you don't have to wait for your iron to warm up. I'm a big fan of chain piecing. It's what my kids do. You'll see Dominic do it in some videos when he's sewing. So just sewing everything all at the same time, feeding it through the machine. That way you're not wasting time cutting threads and, chain piecing. Terry, you're absolutely right. Finger pressing, so Terry suggests. Also, they have those rollers that look like kind of a pastry wheel, for example. Those can press your seams right at your machine as well. That could also help speed things up. So I think it's Gayla. Why are you speeding it up? How much time do you have? How much time do you need to cut out of your process? And really, it's up to you. So I am also I've been known to do the all-nighters before. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about speeding up the process, but if you guys have any suggestions on shortcuts, tips, tricks, hacks that you've come up with to accelerate the process, either your own control or someone else's control, I think you can definitely leave those in the comments for us. Thank you, Gayla. All right, our next question comes to us from Norma from Guntersville, Alabama. Thank you for your question, Norma. What are the differences between hand quilting and machine quilting? Oh gosh, okay. How much time do we have, Paula? Probably not a whole lot. Okay, so for this question, I think, the differences between hand quilting and machine quilting, I think there's kind of the biggest, and one is done by hand and one is done by machine. That feels kind of like an obvious answer and a shortcut answer. So I'm going to take this question to be the quilting process when you're actually doing quilting. You're taking a piece of fabric, a piece of batting, and a piece of fabric, and you're sewing all 3 layers together. So the difference between hand stitching, where you actually have your project on a loom or you have it on something that keeps all 3 layers together, and you typically will big stitch it by hand. So you're going to go through all 3 layers every time. You do big stitching in that because you're doing it by hand, and you are actually using a needle and thread, and you are stitching all 3 layers together, the actual quilting process. If you're doing machine quilting, you're using obviously a machine to do all of that. Instead of manually going up and down, you're using a machine. I think using the machine, if I'm using my domestic machine, dropping the feed dogs is a key step, making sure that it's free motion quilting, but it's actually just using the sewing machine to go through all 3 layers. The stitch length can be whatever you want it to be. When you're hand quilting, you want it to be wider. You don't want it to be too tight. And so I think, I guess I kind of need more context to help answer this question, but hand quilting is done by hand, machine quilting is done by machine. There's a little difference in technique when you're setting up the 2 processes, but there are tons of videos and tutorials out there to help with that. I personally have never hand quilted anything. I actually have very infrequently hand binded my quilts. I am a machine person. I don't have a lot of time because I've got kids and other commitments, but I hand sew super infrequently. Let's see here. So Andrea Miles is saying she has a baby quilt and she's going to try and free motion with her little machine. Fingers crossed it works. Yeah, I think if you're wanting to machine quilt, smaller projects are definitely the way to go. My limit, and I know there's other people out there that are stronger and cooler than I am. I usually stop at about a throw quilt on my own domestic machine, just because the throat size is not big enough to maneuver a quilt through. And it's a lot of arm workouts. You have to have like super big biceps to be able to quilt on a home machine on anything that big. But I think the baby quilt, Andrea, you should have no problems using your domestic machine. It should be fantastic. And I would suggest, if it's a quilt that's going to be a gift, do a practice piece first. So that way you're not super stressed about the process and how you're creating it. Okay. That's it. Those are the 2 questions that were submitted. Yeah, Terry. Yeah, the throw is my line, and then the walking foot. Yes, Gianbo. The walking foot is used to quilt straight lines. So if you're going through all 3 layers, you want the walking foot if you're using your feed dogs on the bottom. So you want to go through together. You would want to make sure you're using that walking foot on top and the feed dogs on the bottom. If you are totally free motion and you're going to use that presser foot that's got the like ring in it, and you want to be able to go in every direction, drop your feed dogs, and you definitely do not want your walking foot pulling it on the bottom if you're pulling on the top, if you're not also pulling it on the bottom. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Anna Knoll is asking a question about for our next mystery, writing a paragraph about each colorway. And so Serenity has yellow outlines. Okay, yeah, Anna, that is a fantastic suggestion. I am going to punt that one over to Paula, and we will see about possibly getting a blog about the different colorways and the fabrics and like zooming in on them so you guys can get more information, make better informed decisions about it, and just make sure that you're not surprised, right? I don't want you guys to be surprised. I don't want you to get a PMQ and hate it because it has something you didn't know was there. So that's definitely a fantastic idea, Anna, and it is going across the hall. Okay. All right, so don't forget, if you're watching us for the first time on Facebook and on YouTube, to accept the StreamYard permission so we can see your name. I see lots of comments. You guys are awesome. If you accept those permissions, we can actually see and we can have a conversation. Don't forget to stay to the end. Today, we're going to be giving away a free Oops kit for the Wild West Puzzle Mystery Quilt. So stay to the end to make sure to enter an answer question to receive your Oops kit. All right, so what's happening in the shop this week? So this is a great, they like loaded me up because I haven't been here. So we're gonna go through these together and kind of see all the awesomeness that's been going on. So the first thing that happened was the Java bundles for the month of June arrived. Guys, these summer bundles are legit my favorite boutiques because they're so bright and they're so fun and they're so vibrant. And so this is what our June Java is going to be. And so look at these, like fun, it's called Lemonade Stand. It's the same name every year, but the fabrics are different. So even if you got June's from last year, this is like, like you would make a pool bag from this in a heartbeat and be able to take it to the beach, take it to the pool. These colors are so much fun. I was so happy to see this sitting out when I got here today. These are awesome. And the other thing that's going on in the shop is while I was gone, they packed up the first Floral States of America clues. And so these guys ship next week to you guys. And we have our first 5 states. So they're states in order that they became states in their statehood date. And they packed them up and they've got these statehood cards in them. And so I have a couple to show you guys today. So here's Delaware, right? So that's that statehood card on the back, has a whole bunch of facts you can't see. There's all the fabrics you need to make the block. Here's the Connecticut package. Here's the Georgia. Of course, it wouldn't be Georgia if it didn't have peaches on it. It has the floral fabrics. Everything is die cut. You guys, these start shipping next week. These are fun. Like, I feel like with the packaging that the team has put together on this, like I could totally like chuck this in the bag, take it on a retreat. I know a lot of people are doing hand stitching. This feels like something I could take to a swim meet and have done and have a block by the time I am done. So, all right, let's see here. So that was done. Like they did it while I was away, and it's fantastic and great. They're also kitting up clues 7 and 8 for Tree of Life. And the big update, where we're going to spend a chunk of time talking today, is that Wild West, our latest puzzle mystery quilt, sign up start tomorrow. So I see a lot of questions coming in from new people who are not familiar with the mystery. That's perfect because we're about to start talking about it and all of the add-ons that come with it. Some people might see people with an option to sign up today, a day early. And so that is exclusively for people that participated in our Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And so this is something we've done since Mystery 1.0. We always let people who have just finished a mystery sign up a day early. They can sleep in, they don't have to set their alarms, they get to pick the colorway they want. They get to sign up a day early because they've finished the mystery prior. And so in that case, it's just a perk. So I know we've gotten getting questions from Tree of Life folks like, hey, can I sign up a day early too? Hey, can I get in early? No, you have to wait till the next one. That's your perk then. So we're definitely signing up a day early for Carnival. But guys, don't worry, nothing ever sells out on the first day. However, tomorrow, that is a very different story. I think our record is 11 minutes till the first colorway selling out. So if there's something you have your eye on and you're like, I really like that colorway, I really want to get on that mystery, get in early tomorrow morning, set your signups for 7 a.m. Let's see, so did we get the email today? So Terry, if you're a Carnival, you would have gotten that email yesterday. I got a question about, are we going to have anything similar to Tree of Life leaves? So yes, Jana, we're going to do something similar for Wild West. It's going to be different, right? We had a lot of coming and going, mailing all the leaves to everyone, getting them all back. And so we're going to do something similar to, it'll be Wild West themed, and it'll still be kind of fun and exciting. So you guys will be able to play along and see it grow. Let's see here. So Joy T is asking about Floral States, these lovely guys. Is it a mystery also, or do you know the pattern in advance? So let's go back to talk about this for a little bit. So the block each month is a surprise. And so we're about to post them on the website. So you can see exactly what the Delaware finished block will look like, what the Connecticut finished block will look like, and what the Georgia block is going to look like. So in that sense, it is definitely a mystery because you don't know what the statehood block is going to be until we mail it out to you. However, if you see it after the fact and you're like, I'm from Georgia, my heart's in Georgia, my kids live in Georgia, you can buy that block after it's released and looked at. Now, with respect to the finishing of it, if you head to the website, Floral States, on our site, we'll actually have an option you get to control the layout. So you can choose to lay it out in a traditional square grid with some offset because it's 50 and 50 doesn't divide evenly by rows and columns. But you can choose to lay it on like a traditional grid or on points. And so the on point layout came from Dominic. It's laid out like the stars in the United States flags. And so it's going to be on point and on a diagonal. So you get to choose the layout. The 5 blocks each month are a surprise until we ship them. And then you get to lay them out however you want. So if you want to put them in order on your flag alphabetically, I think I would probably be in alphabetical because I'm a little geeky that way. You can do it alphabetically. You can choose to do it in the order that they are released. That is completely up to you. All right, let's see here. Where am I at on my list? We've been meandering around. All right, so we're going to do that free oops kit by the end. So stay to the end. So one of the most common questions we get for the PMQ is, I think we talk a lot about the actual clue itself. And so Paula brought one over. And so this is what an actual example of a puzzle mystery quilt looks like. You get all this anywhere between 40 and 80 pieces of fabric that's been die cut, and depends on the small or the large. We've got 2 different sizes. We've talked about that quite frequently. But one of the most popular questions we get is, so I've made my quilt. What else can I do with it? What are the other add-ons and features that you guys have done? And each time we do a mystery, we kind of add a little bit more. This is feedback that comes from you guys to us. This is things people are like, hey, I wish you could do this, or hey, I wish I could do that. And so we always listen to that feedback, and every time we iterate and change because we want to deliver the best possible experience to everybody. It's more than just a quilt, guys. It's truly, you're committing 10 months to this. We want to make sure that you enjoy the process and it's as easy as possible for you. Pastry Queen's asking if it's too late to sign up for Floral States. It is not. Go ahead and head to the website. I think we have just a few more seats. Someone else kind of does that for us. All right. So for Wild West, I want to talk about some of the coolest little features and things when you go through the checkout process that you can kind of take a look at. So the first is we are changing the way we're doing thread kits for Wild West. So we've done thread kits in the past where you get a large spool and 3 small spools, and you can use them however you want throughout the process. We're actually converting that all over to just one single large spool of thread. And so when you order, you're going to give an option to get a single large spool of 50 weight or a fill thread. That way, when you get it, you can literally just start sewing. And you can put that spool of thread back in the box, and you know exactly what thread you're using for the project. You don't have to worry about it. We love Aurifil. Everyone knows we love Aurifil. It's the 50 weight. It's the mercanized Italian cotton. It is awesome. Not every machine loves it. I get it. That is totally fine. You don't have to use the Aurifil thread. But we're giving you an option to get a spool of Aurifil thread with no shipping, right? Since it comes in your box, there's no cost to shipping. So we're going to be including that with your prepaid option. So it is different than times past. The next thing is we're going to continue with if you prepay for the mystery, you're going to get all the fabric at one time. So what you're going to do is when you prepay for the mystery, you're going to get little kind of Lego bags that say clue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And each month we are going to be sending you the clue. Put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And you're going to be able to sit and sew. So everyone will be able to sew clue 1 at the same time. Everyone will be able to sew clue 2, clue 3, clue 4, right? So in that way, you can definitely, sew along with everybody, but receive one package. And so we do this for lots of reasons, guys. We've had so many lost packages in the mail. It's not super fantastic to replace all that. So we'd rather send one package at once. The boxes have a really high success rate of getting to you, which makes us happy and makes you happy. They tend to move a little faster than the packages as well. And it's nice to have kind of it all contained in a box. We used to get questions all the time. How do I store my PMQ? How do I keep it all together? Well, we've given you the box, so you can put it all together, keep everything all in one place. And then all you have to do is get the instructions each month and you can play along. And so it works well for a lot of people. I know not everyone can afford to, prepay all at the same time, and that's totally fine. So we still have our month-to-month option. We will still send you a single clue at a time, and you can be off and going. Oh, here's Paula. Here's that fantastic box, guys. So yeah, so this is the box. We will, if you prepay, it all goes in there, and you can have everything. We even put a handy dandy little contents thing on the side here, so you can actually put, Wild West Mystery, so you know exactly what's in the box. All right, I'm seeing lots of questions over here. Anna, Nicole, and Noel, we're going to come back to borders in just a minute. Okay. All right, so the prepay, we're definitely doing that again. The third thing is we're offering our backing kits. And so for the backing kit, this is something we started a couple mysteries ago, and it was actually pretty popular. So you can actually pick out the backing for your quilt today, and then our team will order the fabric and we will ship it to you at the end of the mystery. And so we picked fabrics that are intentionally meant to coordinate with your PMQ, and you will know that you'll have that backing fabric. We calculate how much is needed in case you've added extra borders to it. This works out well for a lot of reasons. We do latest and greatest collections. So it's everything that's newly released, which is fantastic for month 1. But by the time we get to month 10, most of that fabric is off the shelves at the quilt shops. And so it's hard to go back and try and order the fabrics from the designers at the end, because a lot of quilt shops don't have it, or they don't have enough yardage for you to finish the quilt. So this works really well for you to get fabric that you know and have confidence is going to coordinate with your puzzle mystery quilt at the beginning, versus having to roll the dice and wait until the end. Now, not everyone wants to do the backing kits. That's totally great. We always post our extra fabric we have left over at about month 7 or 8. So that's on the website now. I mean, we're not going to have everything. I don't want to promise that, but whatever we have, we will also put on our website, and you can definitely go and get the designer fabric. We are a great source. There's a lot of shops where as soon as it arrives, it's usually gone within a couple of weeks. We're also a great source for a couple colorways and prints that you might need. So you can do both. You can either do the backing kit, or you can wait and see what Cotton Cuts has left over on our website for the backing of your quilt. Because like I've said 1,000 times, we want you to finish these quilts, guys. We don't want these to become whips or UFOs, or 6 years later, something you're still working on. We want you guys to finish them, so we want to make it as easy as possible. Okay, is there yardage left for Tree of Life? Yes. So Terry, there will be. We will post that soon, most likely after we move is probably going to be the timing for that. Okay, back to my list. All right, border kits. So I've seen a question about border kits. So we offer the option to make the puzzle mystery quilt a little bigger. And so the way that we do that is we offer 2 fabrics that are going to add uniform borders around all the edges of your quilt. And so in that case, depending on a small, it's going to make it a little bigger. I think it's like 16 inches in both directions. And a large is going to make it a little, again, more, it's going to make it bigger. And so what we do is we pick 2 fabrics that are going to coordinate with your quilt top. They are going to be always from the same collection. So it will be from the same collection that you use for your quilt top. Sometimes we find really cool prints that are part of the collection that we cannot use in the PMQ because to die cut them would take away some of the integrity, but they look great as a border. And since we know what that finished design looks like today, we're going to pick a border that we know is not going to kind of bleed too much into that quilt top. And so let me show you what the border kits look like, because we get this question a lot, and for newbies, right, who might not know. So this is from Aster. So all of the border kits come with a little label, and it says, border kit on it. So that way you know that everything contained in this package is what you are going to need for your border kit. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. And so what you're going to get is, like I said, you get the 2 fabrics. So this is going to be your first border. The narrower strips are always the first border, and then a big strip for the outer border. And so this is a fantastic case of like, here's a super cool print that we could not die cut, because to die cut this up, you would lose a lot of the cool integrity. So we used it as a border. And so this would be the bigger border. So you can see putting them together, you're going to get a nice big border all the way around. And then since you're making your quilt top bigger, we actually include extra fabric for your binding, because you're making it bigger. And if you only use the binding that we provide to you, you're not going to have enough strips to go all the way around. So we always give you just a little bit of extra fabric of the same binding fabric that is used for your puzzle mystery quilt. So in that case, you're making it bigger, but we're giving you literally everything you need to be able to have a completely finished quilt top. So this would be for a small quilt. And then we have the same thing for the large. And so the strips are bigger. And so we are making it proportionally bigger. And again, you get more binding. So you definitely get a chance to finish. The border kits are super popular, guys, because it's a very quick and simple and easy way to make the quilt just a little bit bigger, to make it fit a queen bed, a double bed, or even, a bigger twin versus a throw. So a lot of people love the border kits. They're very easy to add on to. So border kits, Lisa, for Wild West are going to ship at the end of the mystery. Border kits going forward, we're going to try and get those as early as possible, but no promises. This time with us moving is not a great time for us to try that. So we are going to do the border kits at the end. Let's see, here's the box or is it shipped separate? So yes, so if you prepay and purchase the border kit, those are shipping separately for Wild West. As we go forward, we're going to try and bring those together. We just can't do it for this time. All right, the next thing on my list is an oops kit. So guys, we've been doing oops kits for a long time. These are super popular. These are fat eighths of all 6 prints in your quilt. You can have these in case you accidentally make an oops. Say you iron, something stretches, you miss sew pieces together, perhaps you accidentally trim. All of those, you can just do the oops kit. So we've got this. A lot of people do fun, cool little projects with these at the end. They'll do pieced borders with these. They'll do pieces on the back. They can do accent pillows. But it's great fabric just to have on hand, so that way you can keep sitting and sewing as you go along. These little guys are popular. They will all be shipping with your Clue 1 at the beginning of the mystery. So you don't have to wait to get these. These we want to put in your hands as quickly as possible. And it will come with your first mystery quilt. All right. So oops kits people love. They're great. I always use them for the back. And that way I know I have a little bit of each of the prints and I don't have to worry about getting a fat quarter, for example, or a half yard of all the prints. All right, number 6. So we are doing, again, we are putting a digital swatch card with you when you order. So when you order your colorway, you're going to get the fantastic little digital swatch card that's going to have all the colorway information. It is going to be forever attached into your Cotton Cuts account. So if, say, you lose that little card and you don't know which fabric is A and B and C, it will be in your account. It'll be download. You can have an electronic version. If you go sewing remotely, you will definitely still have it. We want to make sure that you guys have that at your hands. You don't have to wait to email us. I love that you guys are sewing on Saturdays and Sundays. My team isn't always working on Saturdays and Sundays, and we want to make sure that you guys can keep sewing as much as possible. All right, so Kathy's asking about the thread option. Yes, it only comes with the pre-K kits because we can just chuck that right in the box and away it goes. All right, so definitely when you place your order, download that swatch card, put it someplace safe. You'll always have it. 10 months is a long time, guys. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we want to make sure you have that as much as possible. All right, Kay's Purple Wall is asking if we're going to have inventory of prepaid boxes. Okay, we're going to try it this time. We're for Wild West. We're going to try and have that inventory so you guys know what parts, pieces, and shapes you have in your box ahead of time. So that is a fantastic piece. We've been trying to think how to do that thoughtfully, and this is the one that we're going to try it with Wild West. All right. Our group purchasing program. So this is something we've had for a while. It's worked successfully. So if you have a group of people and you're all getting together to sew the puzzle mystery quilt each month, we have a program specifically for you. If you designate one team captain, we will mail all of your clues together to your team captain, who will be in charge of receiving them and giving them to you. So that way it comes all in one package. You don't have to wait. I hear it all the time about, hey, I'm sewing with 10 of my friends and I'm the only one that doesn't have my clue. Help, right? This is a great way to make sure that everyone gets their clues all at the same time. You guys can all sew them together. We send them to one place and you guys get a discount if we do that. Everyone wins. It breaks my heart to hear the person that's like, everyone's sewn their clues already but me. We have a process for that. So the website, which Paula has up on the screen now, Get Started, there's like a link to the group purchase program, and it'll show you everything you need to do to get in on that if that is appealing for you. I know a lot of people get together in groups. One of my favorite stories is someone takes all the colorway names and puts them in a bowl, and then they get their group together and you draw out the colorway, and congratulations, that's the one you're going to be sewing for the next 10 months. So that way they can kind of get a sense and a feel for all the colorways, and it might push you outside your comfort zone and make something that you aren't used to making and haven't made previously. Let's see, find out the color thread if you were doing month to month. So Kathleen, we will take that under, we will figure out a way to get that done. So that way, if you're doing month to month, it's just piecing thread, Kathleen. So it's either going to be white, black, or this gray. We're not doing anything super fancy with colors and coordinating with the individual colorways. All right, and then the last thing on my list is the try before you buy. So I know there's a lot of new people watching us. We're always adding new people to our groups. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you want to try it before you buy it, we have a try before you buy page where you just go in, you type in your contact information, and we mail you a half a clue free of charge. This is something we've done for a long time because I'm a big fan of, trying before I buy. I want to touch the fabric, feel the fabric, walk through the process to see if I'm going to like it before I commit to 10 months. And so we do this, we ship these guys out all the time. If you want to kind of get a feel for the program, try before you buy is definitely the way to go. All right. So one of the things, the biggest pain points we've had, and we're going to be doing differently for Wild West, is each month we email out all the clues to the prepaid detectives. So one of our interns, who's actually sitting right off the side of the camera, is going to help us with a way to get you guys the files so that way you can, without having to deal with email and spam and redirection. So we're going to host all the documents on a page. It'll be password protected, and you'll be able to go in and get your clues each month without having to hope that it's not filtered into spam and it's not taken away. So I think a lot of people are going to like that. We get a lot of questions and comments about that. So we are making that change this time around. Laura Qualls is asking for the group purchase program. Is there a minimum for the group? I think it's 5. And if you get to certain increments, the discount gets bigger. It's all on the website, Laura. There's a group purchase program website under PMQ with more information. Okay. I think mercifully, guys, that's all the stuff. If you guys have any questions at all, definitely post them in the group or send them to help@cottoncuts.com as you go through the registration process. If something pops up and you don't know what it is, ask us. We are always, always, always happy to help. Okay, so we're going to give away that free Oops kit now. And so what I would like to know is, for you guys, how do you speed up the quilting process? So I want you guys to go ahead and wherever you're seeing this video, if you're seeing it on Instagram, if you're seeing it on Facebook, if you're seeing it on YouTube, is just leave us a comment. How do you speed up your quilting process? Do you do things differently? How do you change your space? What do you do to make the process go a little faster? All right, so with that, and we'll pick one winner tomorrow, and it'll get posted in this personal win. Oh, sorry. Paula wants me to show you guys some fabric, guys. Sorry, I've been chatting away, looking at my list. It wasn't on my list, but she wants me to show you because we're in love with this fabric that has arrived. And so this is the Ghost Town colorway. And so it is from Art Gallery Fabric. These fabrics are super stinking cute. They are so much cooler in person than they are. Like, this floral print is a floral print, but if you guys can't see in the background, there's little cobwebs connecting some of these flowers, and it looks like there's like dark shadows. Dun, dun, dun. These ghosts are absolutely stinking cute. And then my favorite, since I just got back from Mexico, is this one. So this looks like a mosaic tile, like it looks like some of those flowers might make some sugar skulls, right? So this is in the Ghost Town colorway. So I know a lot of people have already signed up for that. That is fantastic and great. If you guys want to see some more of the fabrics for the PMQ before you sign up, we have them all over our social media. So definitely take a look. If you're not playing along with Minute Mysteries, you got to get in on that. It's today and tomorrow. Today's is fun. I put a challenging one up for today. Tomorrow will be a little bit easier. I think we're going to slide into the weekend on an easy Minute Mystery. So definitely keep playing along. So sign-ups begin tomorrow, 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 a.m. Like, guys, I think we're probably going to be maybe 10 to 12 minutes before one colorway sells out. So make sure you get in, make sure you got the websites up and you are ready to go. Don't forget our snippet challenge. Gosh, guys, that's next week. I've seen so many fantastic projects with those snippets. My heart is always happy to see us upcycling and recycling all the scraps and doing beautiful and amazing things. I am always blown away by your guys' creativity. So definitely keep submitting those entries. And of course, you can still get in on our floral states, which will ship next week. All right, gang, I think that's it. Let's see, Flat Nancy drawing for those that participated all 10 months. Thank you, Lauren. That is a fantastic question. That was on my list, but I have been out of the country. So we will do that drawing next week. So Lauren, I think there were at one point in time 21 people that had submitted 9 months We will run the reports over the next week and make sure, because I think that technically ends today, tomorrow-ish. Lauren, we will definitely get on that. It is not forgotten. I've just been out of the country, but we will definitely give one lucky winner a free PMQ. All right. Paula, I think I checked everything off the box. That is it for us, guys. We will see you next week, same time, 9:30 a.m. And lots of crazy fun things are going to happen between now and then. So with all of that, happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.